Just a quick reminder before we begin. This podcast is for education and reflection, not therapy. Now with that said, thanks for joining us for another episode of Kickin' It with Dr. Kells. I hope you enjoy today's episode. The Pressure Gap. Young women versus today's reality. Adulting wasn't supposed to feel like this. And as a reminder, you or your business could have sponsored this episode. Contact us at drkellycornish@gmail.com for more information.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Dr. Kells, and I am checking in for another episode. And boy, do I have something special for you today. I have the friend group on with me, and these girls are friends, but they're like family. And my family's up in here. So, I got my little niecey poo, my daughter's in here, and they're besties. So we're gonna have a good time today talking about the pressure gap. What it's like to be in your 20s, to be doing it and handling your business, but to feel like you're not getting ahead and that pressure. So I want to talk about where the disconnect is. I always talk all the time with my girlfriends and my colleagues, people I work with that are in my generation, but we rarely hear about the perspective from the people who actually are living what they're living. We don't know. We're basing it off of our perspective, and we are looking at it from a place of, I ain't even gonna age myself and tell y'all, but the 90s was a good time for me. But we're basing it off of like the 90s when the reality of the situation is things have changed so much. And I know there's a lot of pressure for young women are on here today, but I'm also referring to all young people, right? So if you are in your 20s, this episode is for you. So what I'm going to do is I am going to allow these lovely women to introduce themselves and tell you whatever it is they want you to know about them. And then we're going to do the intros and we're going to get into it. Real talk, real topics all the time. So draw sticks. Who's going first?
I'll go first, y'all. I'll go first.
Thank you. Okay.
I'll go first. Okay. So, my name is Nisa. I just finished my master's in psychology at Southern New Hampshire University. And I also got a concentration in child developmental psychology as well.
Okay.
I've been working at Violent School District for about 2 years now at the alternative school. Love it. Still want to stick with working in the school system, working my way towards being a school counselor / mentor for kids that kind of go through, hard times in lives, trying to get their lives on track, helping with post-secondary education, whether it be college, trades, military, or just getting right into the job force. And I'm a godmom of 2 kids.
Next.
I'll go next. My name is Serena. I have my associate's degree in elementary education. I just recently changed my major to behavior science, concentration, and family dynamics. So I'll begin my bachelor's degree in that in a year. I am a substitute teacher. I've been that for about 5 years, maybe 6 at this point. I've been working for the Millville School District, and then I bounced between the Violent School District as well. And yeah, that's all about me.
I'll go next. So I'm Alexis, but a lot of people call me Lex or Lexi.
Lexi.
I'm currently in school for my master's in counseling and educational settings. I graduated from Rowan University with my history degree in 2023. But the goal now is to become a school counselor, specifically with elementary school kids. I currently work for the Glassboro School District as their security aide, so I get to practice some of my counseling techniques through my job while I'm working through school.
Okay.
My name is Kiana. I
feel like
have an
doing the
associate's.
Mean Girl chant. My name is Rena. Yeah. My bad. Go ahead.
I have an associate's degree in criminal justice, but I'm going back to school to get my bachelor's in education, completely different track. I've been on a long-term sub in Millville Public Schools probably about 5-6 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a mom of one.
Good for you, girl.
Okay. And we love her. Yes, we do. We love her.
TM.
All
Sorry,
right.
I was a little late with it.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Taylin. I graduated high school, did not go to college, and I've been in the United States Navy for almost 5 years now.
Okay. All right. So impressive. Here you all are. You're doing your thing. Everybody's in their 20s. I see nobody gave their age, but I said you didn't have to. But we know from the show that you were in your 20s. So I can tell you that we have a range here. In our 20s, and I see a common thread of a lot of education. You guys work in the education field, right? So that tells me something about you all, that education is important and you're going to school for education. And then Taylin, you said you have been serving our military since you've been out of high school. So here we are. We have all different tracks. We have parents. Like I said, guys, they're near and dear to me, right? So I know all of these lovely ladies personally. Um, a lot of you are pursuing your education and further education. So if you had to describe adulthood right now with one word, and remember, this is a family show. It's a family show. You got that young lady down there in the corner. It's a family show. Y'all know who I'm talking to, right?
I hope it's not me.
I don't know. Is it you? But anyway, if you had to describe how adulthood feels to you right now in one word, how would you describe it?
Ghetto.
Rough.
You took my word.
Ghetto. With a capital
Ghetto.
G.
Rough.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Is she lying, y'all?
That sounded sarcastic, but
is she lying? That's your friend.
That was your business.
She lying.
She lying?
She lying.
Okay.
Very
what
sarcastic.
else?
I say it's frustrating.
Frustrating. Okay.
Interesting.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Just very interesting. Ghetto was the first word, but
ghetto was the first word.
Yeah.
Honestly,
it is
rewarding.
Rewarding. You think it's rewarding?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Being
Y'all know she's going to be the outlier, right? I already predicted this going. She's going to be the outlier. That's why it was important for her to be on here, because her perspective is going to be different, right? But it's good. Like, this is a good thing, right? So you guys all, your parents, the adults around you, your teachers, you get to high school, and your whole life up until this point where you have to start deciding what you think you might want to do. They're telling you, hey, this is what you need to be successful. What were you told that success equals, right? What did they tell you the secret ingredient for success was?
Going to school.
And that could be any adult in your life. Continuing your education. Okay.
College.
College. Anybody else?
Yeah, I would say like getting a degree and getting that like salary job is like what
a
salary job.
Yep.
Getting a pension.
So we got some degrees floating around here though. What happened? Is it true? Do you think it's true? How do you feel about it right now?
In this current state of the world, no, because I feel like a bachelor's can't get you anything for real. Like they're always wanting you to. They're just always wanting you to do more. Like, oh, you want this job that you're already qualified for? Well, you need a master's degree now, and it's like, okay, but I did what you wanted me to do by getting a bachelor's degree. Now you're telling me I need to go back for a master's degree while also working because I have loans to pay as well. So it's just like you take one step forward and they move you 5 steps backwards.
Okay. Anybody else? What do you think? Oh, there you go. Look at him. He trying to get on here with me. I see him. He like, all my aunties is on that screen. He's like, hi, Ezra. It's like all my aunties is on the
Hi,
screen.
Ezzy.
Hi,
How are
Ezzy.
you?
Hi, Izzy.
Hi, Mom. That's who he saw, his mom.
Hi, baby.
Who's that?
Hi.
Who's it? Titi. Who's that? Yeah. Who's that? Lexi. Who's that? Titi. All right, go with Daddy. Say bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. This is what it's about. So they say get a degree and it'll be okay. Get a degree and it's going to open the door and you're going to be in a better place, what, financially?
Mm.
Right? You're not going to have these worries and things like that going on. So you get the degree and now you feel pressure for what?
To get more, like to keep going, basically.
So
'Cause, like,
you have your master's, right?
yes,
Okay. Okay. Do you feel like that puts you in an advantage?
a little bit, yeah. Because
Mm.
looking at jobs and still applying to jobs again, I do want to kind of further, my career and everything like that, and gain more experience in different school districts, just different environments. Um, Looking, it's like, okay, yeah, you have your master's, it's preferred, but we actually require you to do this. And it's like, oh,
Okay.
okay, all right. So it's like a pressure to like even be financially stable to keep going, to get to where you need to be at, to get the money, but then you keep going, you're losing money because you have to pay. Now when you're a graduate student and you keep going, you don't get as much financial aid, no much, assistance from the government when it comes to school. And so you're kind of like coming out of pocket thousands of dollars for all these degrees to get to be financially stable and live a better life and have like the American dream. But it's like got taken from me.
What's the American dream? What
It's
is
like
that?
the American dream, you get the house, the family, the jobs, two-parent household, blended families, the cars, picket white fences, all that.
Okay. I didn't know that that was still a thing. I know I told my mom, who said that was true? That's what I said. Who said that that's what you do, right? Who
Mm-hmm.
said that's normal? So I didn't even know that was still a thing for you guys, right? That you would
Yeah.
be pushing towards that, and want that because things are changing so quickly and you all work in education, right? So you're spending time around kids that might not be holding those same values,
Mm.
like your generation might be the end of that. People are waiting longer to get married now. They want more stability, where an older generation, they got right into it. We're building together, and it's not like that anymore. So, all right. Well, I think that is fitting, and it's time for a wheel break. What do y'all think? Ha 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 ha.
We don't got
Those
choice.
of you out there who are watching us, this is my Kicking It with Dr. Kells. This is my wheel that I have introduced. No one knows what the questions are going to be. I'm going to spin it and let's see who's going to take our first one.
Ooh.
All right. So the question is in the topic of what society gets wrong. All right, who's taking the question?
We can't know the question
Who wants
before.
it?
Right.
Like,
No.
we can't know before.
Come on.
All right. All right. I'll let you.
Okay.
What assumptions do you think that people make about young women your age? Or young people your age? For example, I'm going to give one. That maybe y'all lazy, right? That this generation is lazy because of the technology. That is like a myth or something I think people get wrong about your generation. So what do you think people assumptions they have about your generation that might not be right?
I feel like kind of what you said, like for your example that you gave, the assumption that we are lazy due to the technology. I feel like like you said earlier, our generation was pretty much like the last generation that does things. So like a lot of us had to we didn't have Chat GPT when we were going to school. Like
Sure
the
did.
beginning years of it, So we had to sit there and write them research papers and write them essays and do those classworks a lot harder. And we actually had to do it compared to the kids now that can just chat GPT, or I think when one of them was like Goth AI, take a picture to show you all the work. Like, it's different for us than it was for them now. Like, they have a lot more access to technology and is able to use it for better than we could. Because I guarantee you, we all would have masters right now if we could have that technology when we was going to school.
Business and all. Hey,
right.
Listen,
Exactly.
listen, I believe it. Listen, I believe it. All right, one more, and then we're gonna hop back in it. Y'all ready? Expectations versus reality. All right. Let me say, I'm looking for my questions here. Where they at? All right. I had three choices. Let me read to see which one I think is going to work for you guys. Oh, this is a good one. All right, this is going to make you think. I'm going to remove it and I'm going to close my screen. All right, so I like this one. The question is, what feels most different from what you actually prepared for, right? So you guys were told to go to school, get an education, right? And it would be okay. So what feels different from that? What do you think? Because
I think
clearly it's not it.
I think what I'm recognizing, like now that I'm like where I'm at, is that I thought once I went to school, got my degree, did what I had to do, I thought I would have proven myself to other people that like don't necessarily know me, like colleagues, for example. Um, I feel like I've proven myself, but like they don't know that about me, I guess. So it's just like the way sometimes people can talk to me. I'm like, you don't you the reality of the situation is I know I'm supposed to be here. And like sometimes I get tricked because of how people perceive me. I'm like, am I supposed to be here? But then I'm like, I am supposed to be here. I've worked to be here. I've done everything that I've been told to do to be here. So I think the way other people in society can treat us sometimes makes us second guess ourselves. And it's like, no, let me think. I've done everything I needed to do to be where I'm at. So that gets me sometimes.
So it's like kind of being discriminated against because of your age.
It could be a plethora of things. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody want to add on?
I like to add on to that because I think when we're in school, it's always go to school, keep your head on straight, do what you have to do. But I think especially when you're trying to find your major, trying to find your place, it gets very discouraging when you look around and you don't see many people like you. And I think that's where I had a hard time at because I can count, for example, I did elementary education, just in general, like count on my fingers how many times I've seen counterparts look like me. Even with me subbing, it's very, very rare. And even then, I feel like I still have to prove myself, whether I have the experience, whether I do what I have to do, and then some. It's always a thought in the back of my head. Okay, cool, you did this, but let's make sure, this time we kick it up a notch. I just feel like even now when I think about it, even when I have my bachelor's degree, I feel like I still have to get more, whether it's the degree or the experience itself. I always feel like I have to kick it up a notch, not only to stand out, but to feel like I belong there, that I fit in. And that kind of discouraged me from education, to be honest, in general, because I want to be in an environment that I feel supported, that I, not only that I feel like I belong, but feel like I'm being seen besides the degree. I want to be seen as a person. I want to be seen as another counterpart that you could talk to, kick it with, and not feel like, ooh, I just feel like I overstepped in a conversation. Or that might have been taken a certain way. Let me take it down a notch. It's very hard. So when people say, oh, our generation don't want to do much, or our generation don't, sometimes we feel like we don't even fit in certain spaces. Honestly and truly, we feel like we don't fit in certain spaces because it's kind of like, okay, cool, a lot of people we work with are older. They've been in it. They've had their experience. Obviously, their experience starting off has been way different than us, because like they started off and it's like, oh cool, straight out of college, they got, you know, their career. Us is like straight out of college, got a bachelor's degree, you gotta have 5 years experience. You gotta have this, you gotta have that. And it's kind of like, well, dang, like I just got my foot in the water. I just feel like you want us to go to school, then you gotta have the experience, you gotta have the knowledge on this. And it's just like, well, when are we gonna have time for this? On top of trying to survive. Because most of us don't have parents who not let us go to school, but we're comfortable enough to go to school and not have to worry about working a full-time job, not having to worry about pitching in for bills or having to pay for this and having to pay for that. So I just feel like the expectations just like go to school, but the reality is sometimes it's like go to school, survive, and do what you got to do to make your footprint in the world. And it's sometimes hard. And I had to learn that sometimes the goal changes up. It might change up next week, it might change up next month. And that's very hard for me because I'm very black and white. So once I have a goal, like if it's goes left, I'm like, oh no. Hold on now. Like this is not what I had planned. So some of my goals were from like high school. I'm a totally different person now. Mm-hmm. Totally different person. How I view things is totally different. So I definitely had to work on that. Like my expectations and reality are two different things. In my head, I'm like, hey, I'm going to go straight to school. And it didn't work out. So the reality was what each day, each month is totally different.
Taylin, your perspective is a little bit different, I would think, because you did the complete opposite. So for those of you in the outside world who don't know, Taylin belongs to me. I gave birth to her. So education has been a big part of just her life because she has spent her life watching me go to school. So never feeling like it's enough, or when you get your degrees and you feel like you have to go further, right? And you have to do more. I relate to that because, as someone who has multiple degrees, right? You just keep going and then finally getting a PhD because nobody can take that from me, right? I earned that. But it's still awkward, and you still sometimes feel like you're not in the spaces, like you said, Lexi, that you deserve to be in. It's a constant battle, right? So that's a mentorship piece. It will constantly be a battle. And the biggest thing that I can tell you guys is walk boldly in your intelligence, walk boldly in what you know, walk boldly in the things that you've worked hard to achieve, and don't let anyone take that from you. Because when there's no mentorship, when you are walking in these places, or like Serena said, likeness, people who have the same things as you, when you walk into these places and those type of things don't exist, it can be discouraging, hands down, because there's nobody there that really understands the experience that you're having. But what I'm going to tell you is equip yourself now to be able to deal with it, so you don't spend time in your life compromising like I did. Right? Like I did. There was nobody there telling me stop compromising. You don't have to dumb yourself down, or you don't have to act like you don't belong in those places as intelligent women, right? It's not even about a degree. It's about your intelligence and what you know and who you are, right? So Taylin, you're a little bit different because you went opposite. So even though you always see me with a book in my hand, studying, writing papers, right? Taylin was like, chuck the deuces. I'm trying something different, and Taylin, she left. Right? She left. She still, as a woman in a male-dominated field, is seeing some of the challenges of not fitting in. So, like Tay, how was the pressure for you as an adult living in the complete opposite, where you don't have the pressure of, okay, I'm not getting a degree right now, like that's not on the horizon. Like, how does that change adulthood for you?
Not necessarily, the degree aspect, but I definitely feel you guys and not feeling like you belong, especially being, a woman, and not only a woman, a person of color, in an environment where it's mostly male, white dominated. I most of the time feel like I'm not enough. I kind of feel like I have to prove myself, and then I barely feel like I get the credit for it. So it definitely puts me 5 steps behind from where I thought I was. It's definitely rough every day. Every single day, there's something going on. And I always feel like I'm the center of attention. And then
That's
having to
because
get
all that period, two period. You all that in a bag of chips. Okay.
I always
Period.
feel
Oh,
like,
okay, go ahead.
there's like a weight on my back. And then when I
Mm.
finish doing what I'm doing, I feel like I don't get the credit for it. It kind of just gets passed along, or, it's given to, someone else that, maybe did 10 minutes of the work. So yeah.
So your pressure, it's there, it's similar, it's just in a different perspective, right? It's just in a different environment. It doesn't mean that, you um, that it does not exist. So I'm going to give you guys a sentence starter and I want you to finish it.
Always something.
Your faces are like, here she goes. Here she goes. All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
I thought by now, what?
Mm.
I thought by now.
I'd be on the beach.
Okay.
I thought by now, to be honest, I'd be out of my mom's house, living in North Jersey, working at a school, my own place, 2 dogs, nice
No,
little
that's new to me.
nice little
New to me.
townhouse, gated community type, real like something like I had like a whole vision for myself. Like I'm gonna leave college, find a job right out of college, save up money, move out of my mom's house, have my cousins come up here, move all my stuff because they all boys anyway. Move into my new apartment. Then obviously have like host things. Have girls' nights, Christmas parties, Halloween parties, kids' birthday parties. Like because we all knew Serena was gonna be the first one to have kids.
Whoa, whoa,
First of
whoa,
all,
whoa.
we all knew Serena was gonna be the first one.
She is somebody,
our high
mom.
school group
She's
and our
somebody,
graduation class,
mom.
Get straight. What's
Somebody,
going
mom.
on?
we knew. So I already knew. When Serena was like, "Oh, I want to throw a birthday party." Okay, have it at my house. I already knew I wanted that because I had a whole plan. But then now I think about it, I'm like, it got a little expensive when I started wanting to be a real adult. Should start saving when I was in second grade or something.
Amen.
That's how I feel.
Yes, I should have saved the stuff in my piggy bank from way, way back.
When we was getting money for the birthdays and
Yes.
everything, like, oh, here's $5 or here's $20. Should have been putting it in the piggy bank.
Right, too busy trying to spend it on lip gloss. Girl,
Okay.
Lip gloss. I was spending mine on candy. That's what I get.
All right, another sentence starter. No one warned us, or no one warned me.
No one warned me that adults are just as dumb as kids sometimes.
Yes.
Right,
But
Lexi, right.
sometimes
Yes.
it be the adults that are double, triple my age that I'm just like,
You be looking.
Yeah.
not even,
Oh, I
not even
didn't
kids.
expect that.
Not
Sorry.
even the kids.
It's not even the kids.
Because it really throws me off. Like a lot of the time I'm at work and I'm like, I was not prepared for this. Like I thought adults had it all figured out. I thought they knew what they were doing. I thought they were smart. And I'm just sitting around like, all right.
Especially since you know your qualifications and you know how you are and how smart you are. I would think most adults could be somewhat on the same level as you.
Yeah, common sense is not that common.
No.
I see it every day.
Amen.
Common sense is really not that.
This is where it's showing y'all friends. I'm just saying.
Yes.
This is where. Look, it's funny, like Lexi, by the way you just brought that up and how everybody chimed in, I have to ask this question. Do y'all see yourself as adults or do you still look at yourself like kids, like just big kids?
Children.
How do you see yourself?
Big kids.
I think everyone's always a big kid.
Big kids with
You
adult
feel like
money.
a kid?
Yes.
Yes, that's how I see
Big
it.
kids.
A little bit. Because
I feel like we're a little bit too unserious to be considered adults sometimes. We sometimes like it just.
Yes, I'm like, dang, I'm somebody's emergency contact. That is crazy.
I'm on somebody's pickup list.
So y'all not even perceiving yourself like adults. That's crazy to me. You see how I picked that up? That was weird.
I think it's because like the societal definition of adult is just like something that feels so unobtainable or something that feels so like
interesting,
like otherworldly. It's like that's what you would consider an adult,
right?
This is what we rush when we were younger, like, oh, I can't wait to be an adult. This is
Right,
what
I
we
was
wish for.
stomping my foot saying that, and now I'm like,
Take me back.
Take me back.
little Serena should have just took that meat out.
Wow.
Ooh, at the freezer?
At the freezer, like my mom asked me to.
And should never talk back. I should have been like, okay.
Never talk back.
And then pulling it out right before she pulled up.
Right.
No, it's not
Pulling it out
hot water.
So what would you give?
Cross button.
What advice would you give the teenagers today? What would you give them? If you could give them something, what would you tell them?
Take your time.
Here comes Ezra.
I say be yourself.
I would say live. I feel like I did not live. I felt like I was just so, okay, I got to do good in school. I got to, got to stand out. So I have to be in clubs, sports. Live. Try new hobbies, just live. I feel like I didn't live. I was just so, I was like, I got to make it out. So I remember my whole high school, it was just sports, clubs, schoolwork. I didn't do anything that I really felt like a desire to. Like, if you know me, everybody knows me as high school Serena, track. I ran all year round. Because I knew I wanted to get out the house. Like, that was my main goal. Like, that was, I needed to get out. The only way for me to get out was academics or sports. Like, that's all I knew. And I wish I lived. Like, live, go hang out with your friends, go try a hobby, whatever you feel like, pour into yourself, whatever it is. You think you want to draw, go to Dollar Tree, get that stuff and draw. You want to read some books, go with your friends and start a book club. That's what we did.
Yep.
Go live.
Yeah.
Live. I wish I did that. I just feel like my high school years was just like, I had to obtain that goal. Like, that was just the main thing. Like, I had to obtain a goal.
Anybody else have advice?
I would say honestly, be yourself. Like, I feel like a lot of teenagers now, they want to be someone else, whether it be a rapper they like,
a YouTuber,
a gamer, or someone that they know, like, on the streets. They want to be just like trying to be in the mix of everything, and getting into unnecessary trouble, whether it be with the law, school, home. I like, just be yourself. Stop trying to be someone else. Stop trying to prove something to other people, because in the long run, those people aren't going to be around. But you have to live with yourself and live with your choices that you made in your life to now where you are now. And you're like, dang, I should have made those choices back when I was 17, 18, 16 years old. Maybe I could be in a different position than I am now. Because a lot of these kids now kind of working in alternative placement, I just see it. They want to be like the next person. They want to be like, oh, wait, that's my big bro. I got to do what he do. No, you don't. Why you want to follow Big Bro? Big Bro on probation.
Right.
Big Bro over there fighting demons.
Big Bro about to go back to jail.
Why are you doing that? So it's kind of like, just be yourself. Like, don't worry about what other people are doing. And I always say, like, if they're your true friends and they love you and they care for you like they say you do, they still love you and hang out with you no matter what you like. If you don't want to be involved with them, you want to stay in the house and play the game and you're not trying to be outside, they should still be your friends. And if that would just show you right then and there, if they can't accept the fact that you're not trying to be like that, they're not your real friend.
So y'all still see yourself as big kids, but y'all talking very adult. You're talking very adult, right? That's very adult. I think that's great advice. It's great wisdom. So let's do some random questions again. And then we're going to go into what is actually hard about this. So I like random. Let's be random. Okay. Let's get it. All right. Relationships and social life.
Oh Lord.
Oh God.
Y'all got this.
I mean, I could give y'all a blue question.
I will take it
got
from
this
you.
one.
Thank you.
I had 5 to choose from.
I think I won this question.
You got it, Tay?
You got it.
I don't got it. Nah.
I offered.
Got it.
Keep this
Got
one.
it.
You know why? Because this is the friend group, right? So since it's the friend group, I'm gonna keep it friend. right? So the question is, do friendships feel harder to maintain in this stage of your life? What do
Absolutely.
you think?
I don't know. I feel like our friendship
How?
is a little bit different
Yeah.
because I feel like it don't matter what stage we are in life. We're always like this. Like we are all doing certain different things. Like I'm a mom of two. They aunties, and another one's a mom. And I just feel like it was never like we couldn't be friends. I feel like we
Right.
all just adjusted to be there for each other. And whether we could relate to it or not, like we've just always been that way. Like it didn't matter if one was graduating, we all rooting for her while we're all trying to figure out what our path is going to be like. I was having a kid, they were going to school getting their master's degree. Kiana, child darn near grown to my and we would I don't know, I just always feel like our friendship is a little bit different. That's why I feel so blessed because it really don't we don't have to relate to be there for each other. We still check in for each other. We don't have to be with each other every day to feel like we have to be friends. We check in like, oh, how are you doing? This, that. They let it we just temperature check and then we go on. And then like we support each other the best way we can. And that's why I like our friendship because it's never like a competition or feel like we all got to be on the same level to feel like we're all equal. Like it's just like I don't ever feel like I'm falling behind because they are always uplifting and encouraging me. Like, hey, look, you'll figure it out. You got it. And when you do, we're gonna be rooting for you. Oh, okay. You're great at this. You're great at that. Okay, what can we do? Or I know this person. Like we're always looking for a way to have each other's back. And I always tell you, and that's another thing too. We're very appreciative of each other. We let each other know that. That's what I love too. I love my girls.
So who chimed in and said, was that you, Taylin? I couldn't tell if it was you.
Absolutely yes.
So your experience is different. So why do you feel like it's so hard to maintain friendships?
I mean, with me being, away and living in a different state than you guys, I've created a different set of friend groups from work, and it's kind of hard to, balance, work life and being, Ozzy, stop, and having my
Not
coworkers as
my annoying
friends.
dog this time. It's not my annoying
No,
dog.
it's mine. He's been doing it this whole time. Um, it's hard to balance, work and then, your friends, you also work with them too. I'm their supervisor. And most of, the people I hang out with, they work under me. So it's kind of hard to get them to do something that I need them to do without, being authoritative, I guess, in a way. And then seeing them outside of work and I'm a completely different person. You kind of need to find a
I'm about to
balance.
say the balance.
You got to
Not
keep boundaries.
huh?
You got to keep boundaries.
And sometimes, it's hard to do that because, there's some days where, where we just don't want to work and we hang out all day. And there's other days where we're completely busy and I'm like, hey, go do this. But they don't see me in that way. And then when I get that way, they don't like that. So it's kind of hard to explain that. My relationships back at home, with my friends, I mean, I talk to her almost every single day, So I'm rooting for her. She's rooting for me. She has a kid, so we catch up when we catch up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you ready for another random?
Yeah.
Randoms aren't that bad. Y'all was all stressed out for nothing. Let's be
Yeah, we
honest. Tell
was.
them how y'all was stressing, thinking I was about to play in y'all faces. And I think that I've been behaving myself tonight because I have a lot of background information and I'm acting like I don't know y'all, which is fine. It's fine. All right. So education, career, money, and reality. We talked about that. Say, mhm. All right. I think this is a good one because this is going to lead me into the next thing that I want to talk about with you guys. For those of you who are tuning in and watching us take this journey, talking about the pressure of transitioning into adulthood and what today's reality actually is. We're pre-recording a two-part series. So we're just going to continue to drag the conversation out in different areas. So I like this question because this is going to take me into the next part that I want to talk about with you guys. So here's a question. How do you think, or how do finances affect your mental health right now?
Ooh.
Finances.
Ooh.
So that's letting y'all know that we're going to start talking a little bit about the adult part of the money, right? So how do you think finances impacts your mental health? Um,
I can take
or
this
does
one.
it affect your mental health right now? Like, do you feel like it affects you?
You go in and I'm a comment.
I got you. So I feel like for me right now, um, I just transitioned jobs a few months ago, and I had to for my own mental health and for completing school. However, it meant taking a pay cut,
Oh,
a severe pay cut. Um, but I felt like that's what I needed to do in that moment in order to focus on school. But in doing that, I feel like sometimes like I can't do what I want to do. Um, like I can't go out as much as I want to go out, and I don't want to commit to going out and then being like, oh, but I don't have the money for it because like that's not the type of situation I want to be in.
okay.
Um,
Ooh,
but I feel like
ooh, y'all
sometimes
see
I
how that
can't.
just popped me up on the screen like that? I'm sorry. I'm being weird. I'm sorry. I'm being weird. I'm being weird. I'm sorry. Go
You're
ahead.
good. No, but
Okay.
I feel like sometimes like it makes me feel like maybe not unreliable isn't the word, but like FOMO. Like I don't want to miss out because I don't have the financial stability in order to do what I want to do. And
Okay.
like I want to take trips. That's the type of person I am. I like a change of scenery, but it's like I have to decide, am I in the position to do that right now, or do I got to keep grinding and really like just wait and wait on it. So I feel like sometimes that
Right.
can impact my mental just because I'm like I feel like I'm missing out and like time is just flying by. I'm like there's like a time aspect to that too that gives me a little bit of anxiety sometimes. So yeah.
And you come from a family that traveled when y'all was younger. You traveled,
Yeah.
right? So that was a part of your growing up. Like you guys would go a couple times a year on vacation. I remember that. So that's definitely something that's important to you. Okay. So in doing the research for this, a couple of things came up for me, right? When I was looking about like, why is this so hard for you guys? Um, I feel like when I was 18 and we said that we wanted to get out, like we could get out. Like I had a whole apartment. My rent was $450 a month, right? When we wanted to get out at 18, like we could get out at 18, right? There wasn't an issue with it. So one of the things that I think is making adulting so hard for your age group is the economic pressure. You have degrees. Now you have this job where you can make this money and they're telling you you need a master's degree. That's what you said. Um, it's never enough. We always need more. Minimum wages, they're paying the same amount of money that if you have a degree, like in certain places, right? You go get a part-time job at Walmart. So what Alexis, I think you talked about student loans,
Mm-hmm.
housing instability, right? Meaning being able to actually afford rent. Like, what does that feel like? What does that look like? I know from just my perspective from the outside looking in, we could afford to leave and move when we were your age, like I had a couple apartments, I had my daughter, I was out there, I was working, right? I had a normal job at the factory, I worked, I paid my rent, like I was able to do things. So
Yeah.
what do you think about that whole economic pressure? Like, what does this look like for you right now? How does it make you feel that here I am with a degree, or here I am in the process, but I have a really good job and I still don't feel like I can sustain on my own? What does that look like for you guys? What does that feel like?
I know for me, so like since I'm actively looking for a place, like you said, it is hard, like between what they want for a one bedroom compared to what they want, as well as a security deposit and everything. And then you have to think about the other bills. Like, it's just the little stuff that adds up. And like you said, you might have a good job, but it's like, okay, well, I'm going to sit here and be pinching pennies because, like, maybe I'll be able to afford the rent and the electric, but what if I can't afford a different bill? So it's like, how can I, and why is it so hard for it to be like that? When some of these places, like, they're not renovated, they still look how they looked years ago, but their rent is double what it was back then. So why is it that it's so much more and there's no renovations and it's not looking the way that it should look for the price that they're listing it as? So I know, like I said, for me, when I'm looking, it's like, okay, well, how can I stay in this bracket without breaking the bank and without pinching pennies to make sure that I'm able to afford everything? And I've come to the conclusion I can't do it. But I have my friends, they're like, you can do it. We're going to find you something. And it's just like, well, when is it going to happen? Because it's like, there's so many requirements and there's so many things that have to be outlined, but they're not meeting every check mark that needs to be met.
Yeah. Especially with these
I'm
gas
not laughing. I'm laughing at how Ozzy is behind Taylin's head. Can y'all see him in this?
Let me see if I can
like,
blur him real quick.
Ozzy Bear, you want to get up all in this? Kiana, I think you hit on some amazing points. Coming to that reality of like, this might not be an option, right? Because now we're talking the quality of place you're living in, safety, right? It's a lot when you're doing it on your own. We always say two are better than one, three are better than one. Lexus, I know that you lived in an apartment when you were, going to school, right? So you shared spaces with people, to make the costs down. We could afford our own when we came out. Like, it wasn't like a big deal. Everybody hit the ground running. Taylin, your experience is a little bit different.
Yes.
Right? I can remember, and I can say this because it's not nothing bad, but I can remember fighting with Taylin and me telling Taylin, like, Tay, you're good. And she's like, I'm not good. I'm like, but you really are. And she's like, no, I'm not. Like, she would fight with me and fight with me. And then finally one day, like last year, she was like, yeah, I'm good. I am. Right? Like, she had to figure it out on her own. So Taylin, you took a different path. um, do you feel like, I know the answer, but you need to answer it. Do you feel like you have the same economic struggles that they have?
In the beginning, yes. With the pay
That's
difference
because you
from
don't listen, y'all. That's because you don't listen, but go ahead.
oh whoop-de-doo, okay. In the beginning, no, I definitely from the pay grade I was then till now, I was
Yeah.
definitely a lot more free once I left home. I didn't really go out much. Like, I do just like school and sports and stuff like that. I didn't get out much, so I had a whole bunch of money and I blew through all my money. I remember at one point I couldn't even afford to buy my little meat that I had that my mom, helped me with get out in Oklahoma. And I was embarrassed to tell her that because I had so much financial freedom. I had no bills and I blew through all my money.
Her little meat is a car for those of you
Oh
guys
yes, my
watching. It's a
car.
car.
Sorry.
It's a car. A little
If you know,
Chevy
you know.
Spark. Or was it a Chevy? No, it wasn't a
Yeah,
Spark.
it was
What
a
was
Spark.
it?
It was a Spark.
No, the white one was a Spark. The red one was something else.
No, the red one was a Spark. The white one was a Sonic.
Oh, okay. So a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
Chevy Spark. That's a meat, y'all.
yeah. Look it up.
Okay.
Chevy Spark. Meet. Um, um, I had so much money. I had no idea what to do with it. And then when I got into an apartment, and I finally got a big girl car payment. I kind of realized I was like, okay, I need to start saving my money. I need to do something. I need to be able to live. Because I was living paycheck to paycheck, not realizing how much money I did make. And once that clicked in my brain, I realized that I could live comfortably on my own.
And I just want to let y'all know Taylin's idea of broke and our idea of broke is two different things. Don't let Taylin tell you she broke. She's lying.
Who got $20? Let me borrow some.
Oh my gosh, they asking for money in the group chat. Bye, girl.
All the
Every
time,
day,
all the
every
time.
day.
Cash apper. Cash
Yeah.
apper. Yeah, so like, so your experience completely different, right? Like you have your own place. You've had your own place. So making that decision and going the other way, it seems like it gave you some opportunities, or maybe some step aheads, or I'm a little bit further maybe than my counterparts because of the direction I took. One thing I want to definitely say about all of this is um, I don't think any of you are behind, right? I think everybody's race is different, right? And I think we run our race and we run our life at different paces and at different times. If you stop trying to grow, right, and you stop trying to chase the things that you know belong to you, that's when there's a problem. That's when it's wrong. But as long as you're in it and you're progressing, you're right where you need to be. This isn't in comparison, right? So if you're comparing yourself to the 20-year-old that went viral, right, or somebody that found social media fame, is that the norm? Is it the norm? Most people work very hard and they grind and they take advantage of opportunities and they create opportunities, and they move forward, right? So as long as you guys are moving, you're not stuck, right? Maybe you want to be a little bit further. Okay, well, you know what? We all do. I wish I was a little bit further too. And I ain't even saying how old I am. But if you follow me, you know. But sometimes I wish that I was in a different place or I was a little bit further, right? But people under me think that I'm already where I need to be. Well, not in my eyes, right? So it's a constant thing. And you guys are all go-getters. And as long as you're a go-getter and you have that drive and you have that ambition, you're always going to be having this dialogue and you're always going to be saying, right, I need more, I want more. And it's about finding that balance to say, you know what? How do we get to stability?